Hello everyone, and welcome to the Manifesting House, where we discuss easy, effective methods you'll want to commit to. Today I have 3 success stories for you on the subject of health and healing. During the readings of these stories, you'll learn about the importance of trust, the use of affirmations, how to overcome addictions, heal cavities, and more. Pay attention to one of these stories, where you'll learn what living in the end really can do for you. And without further delay, here are your stories. I have a particular gland that has given me trouble over the years. In fact, it became so swollen a few years back that it had to be operated on. I was made well by my doctors, and I have been well for years. However, earlier this year, I noticed that there is a small swelling at the same location that there was previously. I became immediately worried that I may be ill again and would require another operation, which of course is not my preference. I realized that it was gradually getting bigger in size, but it wasn't as painful as it was before, which only concerned me more because this was slightly new. I even spoke to my mother about this, worried that the gland is back. It was growing and I didn't know what to do next. Having already an understanding of the law, this is when I thought I would try to put the law to the test. So I created 2 end scenes. These were lovely scenes that were incredibly natural to me. The first being a scene where I'm looking at the mirror and talking to myself, as I sometimes do. No laughter, please. Wow, it's been so many years and I'm perfectly healthy, I would say to myself in one of the end scenes. The next end scene being a simple conversation with my mom. She asks me about the situation and my response is something along the lines of, "Oh, that thing, it disappeared a long time ago. I have no more problems." Every time I tried to check if the gland was getting smaller, I would replay one of these scenes in my mind just for a few seconds, and then I would just let it go. It's been only a few months since I've started all of this, and there is no swelling in sight at all. There are no other symptoms either. If my gland were continuing to swell, it would have been even more visible by now and would have already introduced more symptoms, but there's absolutely nothing. So yes, the law works all the time. And my advice to you would be, live only in the end. Live only in the end, in the wish fulfilled. And distract yourself from the unwanted. Distract yourself from the reality you don't prefer. So I went to the dentist 4 months ago, and they diagnosed me with 5 cavities. They told me it'll cost $1,400 to fill them. $1,400. Having no health insurance, that was a number that was understandably concerning. But I've been a student of the law for some time now, and I've actually been quite successful in managing my emotional reactions to unwanted circumstances. So I went home and I told myself that they must have diagnosed me wrong and that I have perfectly healthy teeth. To be honest, I didn't really believe in my visualizations very much, but hey, I'm only human after all. I confess, I had doubts I could actually heal my cavities with only my mind. Nevertheless, I persisted. I kept putting in the work. The visualizations, and I hoped at some point I'd be perfectly convinced that I had no cavities. And despite my best efforts, I still felt some tooth pain, which led me to the logical conclusion that I did indeed have those cavities. Having reached this conclusion, I reluctantly visited the dentist today to have him repair the damage. A few minutes went by into my appointment and nothing struck me as odd. The dentist was looking intently at my teeth as he always had. I just assumed he was prepping me for the many fillings ahead. But then he pulled back and he said to me, "You have no decay. You don't have any cavities." Apparently, I'd been somehow misdiagnosed the first time. The pain I'd been feeling was just simple sensitivity, so I was given a special toothpaste and they sent me home free of charge. I'm so excited about this tiny manifestation, not only because I healed my cavities and saved myself a lot of money, but also because I realized you don't even need 100% faith for the law to work. I didn't have 100% faith in my visualization, but I do have huge faith in the law. I was convinced I still had cavities, and I even felt the tooth pain, yet it still worked. As I'm still a student of the law, which means I'm still learning, I'd love for your thoughts on this. How was I able to manifest what I wanted, though my faith wasn't even at 100%? I have a few theories, and my main one being alignment. Now, I'm generally a trusting and calm person. I've put my faith in the law from the beginning, and no matter what the outcomes are, I trust the universe, God, my higher being, the source, to lead me right where I need to be. Perhaps it's trust. If you simply trust the laws of the universe to uphold you and nurture you, they'll never fail you. You'll never fall. Hello, fellow manifestors. This story, my story, will outline the simple process of how I eradicated an addictive behavior that consumed me for years. I discovered 𝑤𝑖𝒏𝒂𝒔𝒔 Goddard only a few months ago. I was instantly hooked. His words, his lectures, books, and basically all of his material, they resonated with me to a degree that I couldn't deny. Where you would normally begin practicing conscious manifesting with the smaller desires of your heart, I decided to dive straight in and to begin by manifesting what I would have considered the big things. This probably wasn't the wisest choice, however, because internally, I was a mess of a person. I was helplessly addicted to certain stimuli, and emotionally, I just wasn't whole. Unsurprisingly, though my best efforts were persisted in, my big desires were not met with success. As one would be logically disheartened, I would not allow myself to be discouraged. After all, I had proven the law to myself with little things, and the whole notion of the teachings just made sense to me, so I decided to fix myself first, on the inside, before I set out to conquer the world. My first step toward total self-dominion was getting rid of a nasty addiction, a porn addiction, something that infects many young men and women's lives in such a subtle way that they can go on for years not recognizing the parasite within them. Previous to discovering the law, I tried overcoming this addiction for 2 years using various methods, willpower, types of therapy, subliminal messaging even, but nothing worked. I was hopelessly addicted. Before Neville, I had scarce knowledge about the subconscious mind and its uses. While learning about SATs and practicing it, I came to the revelation that during this state, my consciousness is like a sponge. While in a state akin to sleep, I could paint the canvas with my own pretty colors. Therefore, as I started piecing things together, I devised a method that was not only effective, but also life-changing. What I did was, I personalized an affirmation that resonated with me. I know words can cause feelings, so there I was. What could make me feel like I was no longer a slave to such a malevolent habit? I am free from the slavery of porn. After brainstorming a bunch of affirmations, this was the one that hit close to home. I really saw my addiction as slavery and something I needed to be freed of. So for a few nights before going to bed, I would enter a state akin to sleep and repeat it over and over, hundreds of times at least, and feel what it would feel like were those words true. I imagined myself waking up the next day and feeling free and no longer bound to a lifestyle of miserable dependence. And I'm not even sure when it happened, but my dependence on pornography disappeared. I used to think that porn was something I would have to live with forever. Even if I nowadays encounter a thought or a memory about my previous usage, I repeat the affirmation and feel it again. I really consider this a huge success. I have never felt more empowered in my life and free. I know a lot of people still have yet to consider any sort of sex addiction as legitimate. But I used to be heavily dependent on porn, more than the average person. It infiltrated my thoughts at all times, and my tastes began to degrade rapidly as a result of my constant use. Anyways, I'm grateful for Neville Goddard, and I bless the events that led me to his teachings. And with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I truly do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I trust you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more content just like this. Can you imagine healing 5 cavities? I feel like this specific individual may have unknowingly used Neville Goddard's revision technique. And how about that addiction story? I honestly, wholeheartedly applaud that man. But which of these stories were your favorite? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Toodles.